Okay, here we go. You see this blue dot here? That is Jiffy Lube. That's our Jiffy Lube in Surfside City. Down south here 5 miles is the Jiffy Lube at Murrells Inlet. Very sleepy area. I'm just starting the video here to show you where 17 splits off. There's the 17 business bypass that goes on the northern end, and then the 17 highway that goes straight through all these towns. Okay, here we are. This is actually from my hotel parking lot. I stayed at the Quality Inn here, and the Jiffy Lube is actually right across the street. I believe I did that by design. But what we're going to do is we're going to take a left on the 17 highway, I'm sorry, right on the 17 highway. So we're going southbound at this point. And I just want you to see what there is to see. There was a Denny's across the street. To the left, actually, in that giant tree area, are new homes. So we're going to go in there later, and I'm going to show you what that's all about. But on the right, that's the beach side. A couple blocks that way is the beach. And there are a lot of vacation homes, condo, vacation rentals, some places I wasn't allowed to get into because they're gated. But this should remind you of PJ's Carolina. You know, there's giant shopping center. There are restaurants closer to the highway. More hotels. Yeah, an auto parts store. But this should remind you of just Carolina in general. We're going to go about, those are some condos, vacation rental condos, and I'm not allowed to go in there. But this, we're going to go about a mile from the Jiffy Lube to give you a general gist. You see there's a sort of a touristy crab shack place there. But we're turning left here, and that's about a mile, actually. And this is a highway 544. You take this about, I don't know, maybe 5 miles, I think, maybe 9. You can get, no, about 9, actually. You can get to a place called Conway. A lot of the locals live there instead of living by the beach because it's cheaper. Okay, so now we're turning on to 544. Just to give you a gist, you can see we have more strip malls. We have a Walmart shopping center, which is, again, a mile away from the Jiffy Lube. We have an empty little storefront there. Nice storefront, new storefront, gas stations, whatnot. And you see we have some houses. And there are a bunch of houses, actually, down this way. And we're going to get to go look at them in a little bit, just to give you an idea of what the community is away from the beach. So here we go. We have more houses. We're going to turn around up here in just a second. RVs are huge here, and so are RV parks. So you'll see that in just a wee bit. I actually stopped by the Jiffy Lube, asked if they serviced RVs, and they said they do under 14 feet. So there's that. So here we go. We're going to turn around real quick. See, gated areas. Lots of gated areas, so the riffraff like me can't get in. Okay, here we go. We just turned right back from whence we came. We're on Highway 544. You can see that there are a lot of boats in people's yards. Boats are huge here. Like I said, RV parks and RV camping and boats. Boats, because we're by the beach. But this angle is going to give you a little bit of a better viewpoint of not only these houses that we're passing by, more gated communities, but also some of the, see, this is an empty little unit right there. It's new. That's the one I was just referencing. But yeah, you'll get a little better up-close personal look at the retail and commercial side of the street a bit. So we're turning on to, back onto Highway 17. If I were to go left, I'd hit Myrtle Beach in about 4 miles, the edge of Myrtle Beach in about 4 miles. But going right, we're heading towards Surf City, as you can see by the sign. All right, turning back on to 17. Like I said, there's an RV camping service and parts area. We have this crab shack, crab buffet. But yeah, you can see, you know, there are a lot of sports bars. This is the gated condo area that I'm not allowed to go into. Yeah, sports bars, and restaurants and hotels, as you're seeing. But this is the quickest way for people to get from A to B or beach to beach. This is also when it gets really late. A lot of these fast food joints that are on this strip are heavily packed, as I learned when I arrived last night. So here we go. We're coming up on the Jiffy Lube shortly. As you saw, there's a Wells Fargo. We're heading up on that Denny's across from the Quality Inn, and we're going to be coming up on the Jiffy Lube shortly. Here's my Quality Inn. And huzzah, the big reveal. We're turning off onto the side road, the frontage road here. You can see that billboard, that is on our property. And there is the Jiffy Lube. To the right is a big parcel set being sold for commercial purposes. It's not obviously purchased yet. But here we go. We have a restaurant followed by our Jiffy Lube. And that's it. Huzzah! And we're going inside. So I'm actually starting from the back of our neighbor's lot. This is the Goodyear tire lot. You can see it is a bigger building. It's a bigger parcel. And it runs deeper than our Jiffy Lube. So this is the competition. Here we have the back of the Jiffy Lube. That is the two-sided billboard that is on our property. This is the back of the lot. You can see that it's a typical Jiffy Lube. It's not open yet. There is someone on site, so I'm trying to be a little stealth about it. I'll get better shots soon. But this is our little slice of heaven. Okay, now we've just left the Jiffy Lube. You can see the Goodyear tire to our right. We're heading north on the frontage road. We're going to take this all the way until it ends. There's a dead end at a fast food joint. But again, this is kitschy. This is a kitschy little area. We got bowling. We have strip malls. And on the left we have, those are batting cages. We got our KFCs. A lot of fast food in these here parts. But this is the commercial district. This is where all of the less expensive restaurants are. This is where the locals will likely, from both sides of this little highway, likely frequent for their odds and ends. You'll see title loans. You'll see, banks like that. This is sort of the main thoroughfare. Apparently they love their seafood. We got our Piggly Wiggly, because we are in the Carolinas. That is the Surf City Town Hall we just passed. And here we go. The end of the road. Okay, leaving the Hardee's parking lot here, you can see the Hardee's on the left where that frontage road ends. So we're going to actually cross Highway 17 and start heading towards the beach. I want to give you a better idea of how far we are from the beach, but also what the beach area is like, the actual topography. So to the right is Garden Inlet, to the left is Jiffy Lube and Myrtle Beach. Okay, here we go. We are passing over Highway 17. You can see there are businesses to the right and left. Allstate, the usual. And we're heading into the land of vacation rentals and more expensive homes. Check out how these homes are not lifted. So we're far enough away from the beach at this point We're still in Zone B. These homes are not lifted, but give it a block or two, and you're going to start seeing homes on stilts. Apparently there are brick homes around here that are closer to the beach that fare just fine in the storms, but when people rebuild, they don't like brick homes because it's not what people see in all the pictures, so they don't rebuild them that way because people are weird out here, which we'll get to in a little bit. But yeah, so we're still a few blocks from the beach. We are not in Zone A yet. You'll see a sign. I'm sure we'll see a sign where it says Zone A, but hey, here we go. We start seeing the stilts. We're seeing the homes on stilts. Not everyone, that's a brick building. They probably fare fine. But yeah, so you're going to start seeing lots of golf carts here. Lots of golf carts. That's a big thing in these here parts. But yeah, we got ourselves another brick building pretty close to the beach. Stilts. And beach is dead ahead. Here we go. This is the idyllic Myrtle Beach, Carolina beach look. All right, we are now on the beach. You can see, it's this giant, beautiful Carolina beach. There's a name for this. I think it's called the Golden Mile or something like that. These are miles of beach between these towns that look pretty much like this. It is about 7 in the morning here, 7:30, so it's not very populated. People are just getting ready for the day. Down a little further here, you can see that there is a dip. I don't know if that is natural or man-designed to give us a little bit of a buffer when the tides come in, but I'm going to, after we look at the beach here, I'm going to show you some pictures, historical pictures of what it's like when the hurricanes do come through here. But as you can see, I'm trying to give you the slope, to give you that there is a slope a bit on this beach. But this is sort of the iconic beach look. It's 90 degrees right now, and maybe not, maybe 85 and humid. But yeah, it's beautiful. Beautiful out here. I understand why people flock here. Okay, now we're right up against the beach. I'm just showing this is the parking lot where I parked, but to the left and to the right you see a lot of vacation homes and actual rentals and actual homes. You have a lot of bars, a lot of surf shops, a lot of touristy stuff. We're about to hop in the car and give you a better look. Alright, we are now driving left from that parking lot. The beach is on our left now. This is Surfside City. You can see there are a lot of homes, a lot of vacation rentals. This is the place to be on July 4th, apparently. This is a little more independent than Myrtle Beach is. And by that I mean Myrtle Beach is more resorts, more, hey, we'll take care of you. And this is more of like Jersey Shore, meaning you just get the house, you rent the house, you buy your own beer, you make your own fun, and that's this town. So it's a little more independent vacationers than you might see in Myrtle Beach. But yeah, this is pretty much what you're seeing here. Just this is Grand on the block right by the beach, but it's a lot of large homes. Another thing that I want to alert you to is that after talking to a large amount of locals, this is not actually where the locals live, which should not be all that surprising considering what we know of our own Santa Barbara area. There are a select wealthy that have their places out here, but a lot of these are people who have vacation homes here, and so they have vacation rentals. Locals tend to live back a few blocks or actually on the other side of that highway where the Jiffy Lube is located, or even in places like Conway, which is, like I said, I think it's about 9 miles away. But yeah, the locals tend to stay clear from the beach. They said this isn't reality. Reality is a few blocks away. Multiple people said that to me. All right, now we are leaving the beach. We are heading down a random street, heading back towards the highway. So again, this is Zone A. You see all these stilts. You see all these houses elevated, and that is the big flood zone. This is what has been wiped out before in Hurricane Hugo, which was in the 80s. Some of these homes were heavily damaged in Matthew, and they've been rebuilt, every single one of them. You don't see any that are just sitting dilapidated. I haven't seen one, actually. They've all been rebuilt. So that's promising. But as you can see, we're still in Zone A, and soon you'll start seeing homes. Here we go. Start seeing homes that are not elevated, or slightly so, or bucking what I just said. But you do start seeing homes that are just sitting on the ground and keeping their fingers crossed. Okay, I skipped ahead. I will show you a long viewpoint from the highway to the beach, but right now I wanted to show you that we're back at the highway, heading towards Jiffy Lube now. It's a pretty busy highway, as you can see. There are cars on this road. I wanted to show you this because the day's starting. It's closer to 8 a.m. now, and this is the main artery of all of these towns. Like I said, there's a business bypass that's north of this, or however you want to calibrate your maps, but this is the commercial center. There's more land here, so you're going to see golf courses off of this area, water parks, but this is the service artery. You're going to start seeing, like there are banks, there are, that's a golf course, there are banks, there are little strip malls like this with lots of different little businesses and, State Farm agents and Allstate agents. There are auto parts stores. We're going to skip ahead here in just a minute with a hard skip, but there's a water park. Like I said, there's land here, so there's stuff like this right off this highway. But you're going to see, gas stations along this route. There are no gas stations off of this route. There are only restaurants and bars. There's not much else. But that's so if you need anything, groceries even, you get back on this highway, and that is why, obviously, the Jiffy Lube is on this highway. But I wanted you to get a better gist of that as we move forward. We're actually closing in back onto our Jiffy Lube. So we've driven about a mile, a little over a mile. But we're heading onto the frontage road again so you can get a direct shot of the Jiffy Lube one more time. So turning onto this frontage road, passing by the Waffle House, and I want you to get a better view of the billboard as we move forward. Yeah, little kitschy restaurants, but we're approaching the Goodyear. Our billboard is dead ahead. Ta-da! And back to home. A quick little shot of our billboard. here. Now I wanted to take the opportunity to give you an idea of not only the flood zones, but also just the regular zoning. Here we have the little key. This is the special flood hazard area. This is in the most extreme of storms where, what might flood. And then C1 is our zoning, just commercial one. But we're going to zoom out in just a quick second. You see this red line here, this dotted red line, the LIWMWA, I think. All of that was completely destroyed in Hurricane Hugo in the 1980s. It was all rebuilt. We drove down that one of those streets, Ocean Boulevard, and I showed you all the bars and the vacation homes, etc. That's the pier right here where I'm circling. That pier is where I stood to take the ocean shots. And Surfside Drive here is where I drove up down up the street back towards the highway. So you can see that red, deep red, and pink dotted line ahead. That's the disaster zone in case a bigger storm heads through. That's the likely destruction zone, I would argue. But I wanted to give you an idea of where the Jiffy Lube is located. See that arrow ahead? That's where we are. That's the Jiffy Lube. So that's the highway. That's Zone B. Pretty much everything from the highway north is Zone B for sure. We'll get a better idea what that is. Okay, here we go. I found this on their master plan website. All areas east of US Business 17 up to the intersection of US 17. Kings Highway is Zone A. And Zone B is basically the highway west, which is where our property is located. So we're Zone B. All right, we're kind of doing an unfair hard jump. This is a commercial and industrial space off the highway. It can't be seen from the highway. You have to be looking for this area. It takes you. You can easily get to it from Highway 544. If you remember, we drove down that. But to the right, you can see that's Highway 17. But you have to know what you're looking for. This is off the highway. This is a real locals area. This is more industrial and distribution-ish, light emphasis, distribution. But you're about to be reoriented in just a second. If you remember me saying that nice new empty building, that's it right there, the Tile and Loans, Dick's Tile Loans. Tile Lord, I don't know what that says, but that's the building, and here we are, 554. All right, here we go. We are leaving 544, taking a left on 17. Had we gone right, we would go to the Jiffy Lube, but we're going left. Now, if you remember, on the corner of 544, there was a Walmart shopping center. There was a Walgreens there, a Popeye's Chicken, and a McDonald's, amongst other things, but that's the Walmart shopping center. It's massive. To the right, we have gated communities. These are vacation condos, ownership and rentals. They are on stilts, you will see. And I talked to some locals, and they said that it's precautionary, sure, but it's also kitsch. This is what people who are coming on vacations expect from the homes they're renting. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. All right, continuing on the highway, you see a camping resort. You're going to see a lot of these. This is RV camping. RVs are big here. There are no pitching of tents. As you can see, more RV storage. Yeah, there's no tent camping here. That's not the type of vacation these are. These are. As you can see, it's just sort of lush Carolina landscape for a little stretch. We're heading towards Myrtle Beach still. It's about 4 miles to the edge of Myrtle Beach, but between Surfside City and more of the Myrtle Beach area, you see, little odds and ends, gas stations, a couple kitschy shops, a couple RV parts and service areas, and not a whole lot else in this stretch. We're about to come up on another RV camping world. Here it is on your right. You're going to start seeing communities popping up on your left, and we're going to dive into one of those communities shortly. Yeah, That one right there. We're going to dive into that right now. Okay, so instead of doing a U-turn, we're going into Business Highway 17 and heading into one of these little communities just to get an idea of what the other side is like. Nice little area. This reminds me of PJ's neighborhood. Nice homes. So this is right off of the highway, Highway 17. It's a nice little community. All right, that was a nice little community, but we're actually going to try to find ones closer now to the Jiffy Lube. So we're heading back towards Jiffy Lube on Highway 17 right here. All right, here we are hopping back on to Highway 17. We have that Camping World area or camping place on the left. So you're going to get a better shot of these sort of kitschy retail spaces on the right soon, but it's not where my camera is. There you go. Sort of these random little areas. To see a gas station probably coming up here, but yeah, just little retail spots on the way back to Surfside City proper. Quick change of plans here. We're heading back towards the Jiffy Lube, but we're going to take a little detour before we head towards those homes by the Jiffy Lube. You see that large ball up there in the sky? That's the little industrial area I showed you, the little light distribution. But we're actually going to take a quick detour. We're going to take a right on Highway 544. I want to take you to the all the way to the business bypass area. I want to show you, as you can see, again to orient yourself, that's the Walmart. We're about a mile from the Jiffy Lube. But I want to take you towards that business bypass just so you can get an idea of what that area looks like. There's going to be big box stores, like there's a Kohl's and more department store type things closer to that highway, which you will see shortly. All right, here we are. We're almost there. We just passed over a road called Prestwick Club Drive. We're just heading towards that bypass. You can see there are homes right off the little highway here, little tiny little communities. We're probably going to see more RVs at some point. That's my guess. Oh, right. This is Camping World. Yeah, here we go. RVs. Camping World and RVs. But as we continue forward, you're going to start seeing kind of more of the same, I guess. Here we go. We got a Chick-fil-A, which is also popular, as we know, in Texas. We got another, we're starting to hit Civilization, or another Wells Fargo. And here we go. We have another Walmart. There's a Kohl's ahead under the freeway. Looks like that is a defunct Rite Aid. An Arby's. gas station, and dead ahead is the business bypass. There you go. Okay, heading under that business bypass, we are now in an area called Socastee. Socastee has about 20,000 people in it. There's that Target, there's the new Walmart, there's, this is kind of a big little commercial district that feeds Socastee. Where we are at right now is about 3 miles, almost exactly, from our Jiffy Lube. Alright, here we're looking at a map real quick. This is our Jiffy Lube in Surfside City. There's one in Murrells Inlet 5 miles away, and then 9 miles away to 10 miles there's one in Myrtle Beach. There's also one far, far away in Conway. So where we're located right now, this is Socastee. This is kind of the, right there, that's kind of the area I think that services this entire area right here. I think all comes to our Jiffy Lube. It's highly residential. I don't think they go to Myrtle Beach because that's so touristy. It's difficult to get to. That's the airport that I'm pointing at. But I think that it's very easy and to get to our location here. As you can see, this is Socastee right here. It's highly residential. People just, you can hop on the business bypass, but I think people probably take the side road and come down to, because they want to avoid Myrtle Beach. It's too touristy. Turn back on to Business District 17. Heading back to Jiffy Lube one more time before heading over to Myrtle Beach. Just wanted to get a sense of the traffic at the lube that is Jiffy. We're about a mile away and we're heading back on the highway. Alright, here we go. Let's check out this Jiffy Lube. We're going to do this and we're going to do that. Alright, Jiffy Lube. Jiffy Lube, Jiffy Lube. Jiffy Lube has, you know what? That's pretty constant flow of traffic. Coming up one more time on the Jiffy Lube. Jiffy Lube, Jiffy Lube. So we got a Goodyear tire, an oil change, and brake alignment, and so this is their direct competition. They're fairly busy, but Jiffy Lube has 2 people waiting, 3 people in the back, and 2 cars on the rack, so not too shabby either. Okay, we're taking a slight detour. This is the neighborhood that's being built or being added to that is directly behind the Jiffy Lube. So this is the first left turn I can make after passing by the Jiffy Lube, going towards Myrtle Beach. So here we have a big roundabout. We have one neighborhood here, which looks a little, established. We have, I think I'm going to do this loop here. So here we go. We got our boats. We got our houses. Not a stilt in sight. We do see a lot of home sales. I know it's the summer season, but I would like to do a little bit of a deep dive into what the homes are going for and just how many are on the market and how many have been sold. So what the pickup pace is. Is there a lull or is the market hot? That kind of thing. So I'll look into that, but this gives you a pretty good idea of what is directly behind the Jiffy Lube. It looks pretty well taken care of, as you can see. I would argue perhaps minimal. Maybe there are CC&Rs, but I'm not seeing such cohesion that there would be maybe an HOA in this neighborhood. And this is it. We're gonna head to one more. We're gonna head to one more neighborhood. We're gonna do a quick loop back from whence we came to try to get out of this place and we'll see if the neighborhood changes at all. All right, we're leaving the area, taking a right. As you can see, new homes, new build, new construction to the left and to the right of us. So there's even newer homes than that neighborhood that we just passed through, and now that makes more sense as to why the older homes might be for sale, because we have new homes being built right around the corner. As we're heading back to Highway 17, we hit the roundabout that we came through. We went through the Plantation Drive area. You'll see that boat. It should be familiar. And we're heading back to the highway. So this is the neighborhood that is directly behind the Jiffy Lube. This is the local joint. So we have a lot of new building going on. A lot of new homes being built. We want to check to see how fast they're selling. Because it means that they're either anticipating growth or there's a demand for growth. So if we were to go right, we'd hit the Jiffy Lube, which is what we're doing, just to give you context. There's that infamous Denny's that is a good indicator. And this is the lot that is the commercial development here. Or the commercially zoned property. There it is, this for sale sign. And there you have it. Our Jiffy Lube is dead ahead. Okay, quick detour from Myrtle Beach. I'm taking you off the highway and down towards the Surf City Beach just to give you a gist of everything that's out here. I wanted to do a direct line, but there are a lot of golf carts on the street, so we're going to take a detour on a side street real quick. Well, we had a lot of golf cart activity, so I kind of had to zig and zag, so I skipped a couple blocks here, but I was on, I think, 5th. Now I'm turning on to 7th, I believe. But as you can see, we're about maybe 3 blocks from the beach at this point. We have much larger homes you're seeing because we're in the luxury end of town. We're heading towards the beach. Like I said, these are vacation homes for people. They are vacation rentals. Um, Most of these are not primary homes, from what I learned from the locals, for locals. Beach dead ahead. All right, this isn't quite fair. This isn't the beach that was dead ahead. We have skipped ahead to Myrtle Beach. This is Myrtle Beach. You can see that this is more resort focused. There are all these different cabanas and things like that, but it's a Friday. Granted, it's summer, but it is very busy. Another quick unfair jump. We're now at the Jiffy Lube in Myrtle Beach, 9 miles away from ours. It's not as busy as ours. It's in a much more commercial area, much more heavily commercialized district. The thing is, it's not very busy. It's not easy to see from the road. You kind of have to know it's there. I'll give you a different angle in just a minute. Located in a Sam's Club parking lot, or parcel. We're leaving that parcel now. Sam's Club is directly behind us. This ahead is the junction of the Business Bypass 17, but as you can see, it's kind of difficult to get to, and it's smaller than ours. Okay, a map to orient ourselves. We're looking at the Myrtle Beach Jiffy Lube that we just saw on a corner of the Business Bypass, and I believe it's something like 10th. I forget what the street name is. It's in a Sam's Club lot. It's in a much more commercial area, as you can see. I think the reason why the land or why the property is more expensive is because the land is more valuable. It's in a Sam's Club parcel. It's in a heavily commercialized area, used sports center nearby. I think that should Jiffy Lube choose to leave, some other company could come in there. It could be a restaurant, it could be another auto shop, it could be anything, and it would just be more valuable due to its location.